Oh, good Lord. Thanks, Trip. Wow. Well, welcome to the show. My name's Kristian, and I've been talking with a muted mic for the past 15 minutes. which is awesome. All right, kids. So anyway, we did the iHeart Radio news. You missed it. It was really funny. It was pretty entertaining, and you'll never hear it again. So there we go. But right now, I've got the random 9 list, and it is 9 random things missing from Batman's utility belt. Yes, 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 yes. And a lot of people really like to hear about Batman's utility belt. Like Batman. And Batmom, Batdad. Bat Dog. Not Bad Dog, Bat Dog, which is Batman's dog. He just wears a cape and cowl. It looks cool. It's got a bat collar. It's pretty hip. 9 random things missing from Batman's utility belt. We're going to start off with old random rim shot number 9. Flux capacitor. I mean, duh. Every bat belt utility belt needs a flux capacitor. What about number 8? Well, this one's going to come in handy for after this bit. Bat Advil. Bat Advil. Yeah. They're going to put a star by Bat Advil real quick, so that way we make sure that's being applied. Number 7. Well, also probably going to need this Bat Beer Tap. Bat Beer Tap on the old random missing thing from Batman's utility belt. Because, there are 9 random things that are missing from the utility belt. And number 5 would be, number 6, a full set of replacement batteries for all the Bat gadgets. So they would be Bat batteries. See, batteries. Don't really need to call them Bat batteries. They're batteries. That just happened. Let's see. Number 4. No, number 5. Number 5. And this one's an important one. It'll come in handy. Number 5, random thing missing from Batman's utility belt. Bat snack dispenser. That's right. Nothing says snacks like bat snacks. And being dispensed from your belt. Pretty cool. Number 4, random things missing from Batman's utility belt. Junior Justice League members' cards. Because, it's for the kids. Just saying. All right. Number 3. Random thing missing from Batman's utility belt. A politics repellent. We all need this. We all need to get our own Bat utility belts at this point. If it comes with that, we could use underlining politics repellent right there. Going to the store after this. Number 2, random things missing from Batman's utility belt. An extra set of Bat boxers, just in case. Hey, again, not too bad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, Bat boxers. I'm marking that down on my own personal list just to have some Bat boxers. Which brings us to the number 1 random thing missing from Batman's utility belt. An arc reactor to power up his... Sorry. Hold on. That's for Iron Man. Yeah, Iron Man uses the arc reactor. Batman doesn't have an Iron Man suit. So, there it is. The 9 random things missing from Batman's utility belt. We named them. Took a whole week to come up with that. And it took less than a minute or 2 to completely destroy it and remove ourselves from that. So right now, we're getting ready. We're going to have Mr. Mark Racop joining us here in just a moment. But before we do that, you know what we got? We got that amazing woman that makes that amazing salsa, Mrs. A, and her famous Salsa Buena. Check it out. On us, and what isn't more festive than salsa? What? You don't think salsa screams happy holidays? Well, then you haven't had Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena. It's made with the freshest ingredients and delicious cilantro. Mrs. A's has 3 amazing flavors that beg to be paired with your holiday treats. There's the original, which pleases even the most finicky of tastes. Then there's the amazing Salsa Verde that would make even the Grinch smile with delight. And to warm you up, the hot salsa has just enough heat and it's full of flavor. Now the best part is there's no onions. That's right, so you won't be ruining the fun or your date with onion breath. Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena is located in the refrigeration section of your favorite grocer to stay as fresh and delicious as possible. You can find Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena from the West Coast all the way through the Rockies and expanding every day. If you can't find it, demand that your grocer go get Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena and get your holidays partying. Go to mrsafamous.com to find out more. Hey, guess what, kids? Oh, great. That's fine. Oh, you know, this is why technical difficulties are easy to work around when you've got my improvisational skill. And now it kicks in. Anyway, that music can only mean one thing. We've got the man, the myth, that has created the Batman Museum for Fiberglass Freaks. Yeah, not really fiberglass freaks. But anyway, he's got a Batman Museum, and there's something that he does that's even just as cool that led up to this Batman Museum. And when you hear your mind's going to be blown, and you're going to be calling him going, okay, I'm ready. So let's bring him on without further ado. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Racop, the Bat-urator of the Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Kristian, how's it going?
All right, buddy. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. Anytime I get to talk with Bat fans, it's an awesome day.
Yeah. This is so super cool. All right, so Mark, the long and the short of it is you have a Batman Museum that you'll be opening here at the end of the month, correct?
Correct. October 31st, Halloween Day at 1 p.m., we are opening the world's first permanent 1966 centric Batman Museum.
Okay, and that was the next thing I was about to get to was this is all about here, I'm putting you over here where it says Mark Racop. This is all based off of the series, correct?
A lot of it is. It's 66 centric, but all versions of Batman are going to be represented. Lego Batman, Michael Keaton, all the way up through the latest version from the Batman with Robert Pattinson. So everything is, but the heart of the museum is certainly 66 Batman.
Okay. Yeah, because I know. I mean, okay, and I mean,
there might be a reason.
Yeah, look behind him, for God's sakes. He's got Adam West's cowl right behind him. Now, is that an actual authentic one, or is this a replica?
It is a replica made by Chuck Williams and his lovely wife, Lynn. They make the absolute best replica costumes of the Batman and Robin costumes on the planet, using the exact same materials and methods to be able to construct those.
That's just so cool. And there you go. There it is right there. The head that flips back and gives you access to the Bat Cave and the Bat Poles with, names. And how many people have not wanted their own Bat Poles in their house with their names? And, That's my poll. Can't slide down that. Sorry. Okay, so I mean, you've got just a plethora. Now, is a lot of this stuff going to be in the museum? You just haven't moved it there? Or is this your own personal collection? You're like, nobody's seen this.
These are a few of the leftover items. This office used to be completely full, jam packed with boxes everywhere, and then it spilled over out into the main office out front. And that was one of the reasons why, is as the collection grew and grew, people said, "You need to open a museum." So I put that in my back pocket. And then when I became licensed by DC Comics in 2010, I went to the bank, was talking with them, and they said, "Do you have a showroom?" I said, "No." But I married the two together, created the concept that it needs to be both a showroom as well as a museum. And that was really the birth of this whole concept, was because of that. And then I started earnestly working on it in 2015. We bought the building in 2019, started converting it in 2020 and 2021, and here we are today.
So this was a COVID purchase. You're like, I got nothing better to do. I'm
Yes.
gonna sit inside this big building and make it a Batman museum.
Right, and the vision from the get go was pretty much intact. Although I did move a few things around as far as where the theater was located, where the Wayne Manor study was directed, and things like that. So you mentioned the bat poles, so we have bat poles. So people will be able to enter a replica of the Wayne Manor study, complete with the fabric wallpaper, and they have the Shakespeare bust. They can flip the switch and see the bookcase slide open, and wham, there they are. They see the bat poles, just like you said, labeled Bruce and Dick for photo ops.
What?
Yes,
What?
right.
Okay. Good.
You can't slide down them. Insurance and lawyers say no, no, nobody can slide down them. But you can look down the shaft through the clear plastic to be able to see what it's like for Adam West and Burt Ward when they slid down the bat poles to the Batcave. Of course, they were two separate sets in reality, but that would have been the look. Would have been something like that.
Right. Okay. So wait. So now you go over to the bat poles and then you can look down and see into the bat cave.
Yes,
What?
I know. Yes,
Yeah. Oh my
yes.
god. Did did okay. Is there an actual bat cave underneath?
There is. It's
Oh
two
my god.
stories. It's over 7,000 square feet. So we've got the gift shop for the entrance in the front. You go into the Wayne Manor study. From the Wayne Manor study, you go into a small theater, about 22 seats. You can see documentaries on the TV show, on the Batmobile, on Logansport transportation history. We go all the way back into the 1800s with Rivertown and into railroads, etc. Four car manufacturers, and then a fifth later, us. Who would have thought? And then you exit the
We went
theater.
from railroads to Batmobiles.
Yes. And then from the theater, you step into the Rogues Gallery. And part of the Rogues Gallery, if you remember on the TV show, they had so many stars that wanted to be on it that they ended up adding the window cameos, right? There were
Oh yeah, yeah,
14
yeah, yeah.
stars, right? And so the window would pop open as Batman and Robin are climbing the wall, and then Dick Clark would pop out, or it would be Sammy Davis Jr., Jerry Lewis, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We have that also. And the way they filmed that was by turning the set sideways and holding on to their capes using fishing line. Well, we won't be doing the fishing line part, but the rest of it is there for photo ops. So people can get up on and hold the bat rope. Others can get down into the window and be able to look up. And then we will take pictures of them as they're doing this, or video if they would prefer. And then they can post that on the internet about where they're going. They're climbing the bat climb wall to be able to get into the Rogues Gallery.
Oh my god. Dude, it's like an amusement park for adult nerds. This
It
is
really is.
oh my. Okay.
And
Uh, oh.
then you get into the Rogues Gallery proper, and there's a box of that we call our screen used shadow box. It's a giant shadow box that includes a screen used penguin jacket that Burgess Meredith wore in the third season of the show.
Oh, I saw
And
you
then
post something about yes, yes, yes.
Right. Then Frank Gorshin reprised his role as the Riddler in the 2003 movie Return to the Batcave. And it's not a question mark outfit like what he wore on the TV show, or not like the suit jacket, but it's an exclamation mark on a sweater. But it's screen used. So, daggone it, we've got it. And it's wonderful. And both of those will be on display. And then inside of the Rogues Gallery are statues of Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, Mad Hatter, and very shortly to be added is Mr. Freeze. And people can take pictures from afar, or with the photo op package, they can get right up close to them to be able to stand next to them, just like at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum.
Wow. Oh my. Oh, hold on. That I'm changing this now to because I'm just nerding out. So I'm putting up the yes, we're still nerds thing.
Yes, we
Um.
are totally still nerds.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because I'm like, my
I
brain's
know there's so much to unpack, isn't there?
dude.
You talk about my history. I started when I was 2 years old as a Batman fan, and
Right.
it launched everything in my life because of that TV show back in 1967. I became a Batman fan. I ended up building my first Batmobile at age 17. I met my wife because of the Batmobile.
What?
My whole life.
Wife's into it too.
Oh yes, most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, so a mutual friend dropped her by to see what his crazy buddy was doing, and there she is standing in the doorway. This hot blonde, at least in my eyes, she's a hot blonde, so that's fine, right? And so I see this hot blonde. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to think of something. What kind of a pickup line could I possibly use? And I said, I could use some help working on the car. She said yes. Her father was building his own airplane using fiberglass, just like we were on the car. And she had had a little bit of experience working in fiberglass. So, mind blown. I know. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we're still nerds, right?
Oh no, yeah, that's staying up here for a minute. Wow, Mark, good lord, and I know Andy's. He might be watching. He's caught up in meetings, but I know he's probably watching off to the side and like biting his lip. How he is not a part of this right now because he again huge, not just DC but Batman. Me and him constantly go. I'm a huge Iron Man fan, but he is a very big, and he talks about all this stuff on his his other podcast,
Excellent.
Rum and Regrets. But okay, we got to get back to the roots of this real quick because I people need to understand you're not just some guy. Just all I've done all my life is collect Batman stuff, and that's all I live for. And I live in a shoebox, but I've got this amazing museum. Mark started out, like you said, 17 years old, building your actual own replica of the 1966 George Barris Batmobile, correct?
Correct, right. So I was 11 years old when my dad took me to Chicago to the Antique Auto Museum, saw my first full-scale Batmobile. Turns out it was one of the original four George Barris built cars. He's the guy who built the Batmobile.
Yeah.
And then the three fiberglass replicas. And that cemented the dream that not only was I going to own a Batmobile someday, I was going to build it. And people say, "Oh, you must have been into the automotive industry." I said, "No, my background was a filmmaker. I'd made two Batman fan films in high school. I was gearing up to do my third in college, and I wanted the ultimate prop." And I thought, well, we've built sets, we've sewn costumes, we've made props. How hard could it be to build a car?
Yeah.
We were so naive. We had no clue what we were doing. We were way in over our heads. We had a jigsaw, we had a 5-inch grinder, we had a little drywall sanding block, a rubber block, and that's what we started with. We didn't even own an air compressor, if that tells you how naive we were about the process. But we had willpower. 17-year-old kids with tons of willpower converted a 74 Monte Carlo into the Batmobile. And we were able to make our third Batman fan film, and it won one of the David Letterman Scholarship Awards at Ball State. And that was a nice feather in the cap, opened up a lot of doors. And then it was in 2003 that we decided to start building Batmobiles professionally. And that really rocked the Batmobile world, of course.
Yeah. And okay, so now you're actually, and again, building these. This is Mark Racop for the people in the audio version of this. Mark Racop. Uh, I like to call him the Bat-urator instead of curator of the Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum. But also, Fiberglass Freaks is the Batmobile business part. And you are doing these exactly the scale of the 1966 Batmobile, which now didn't Bob Kane actually design the Batmobile and then George Barris put it to reality, or was it just a George Barris thing? George Barris, great uh, car creator, designer,
Customizer.
yeah,
Right.
customizer.
So there have been over 100 different Batmobile designs. So Bob Kane and Bill Finger, they came up with all kinds of. There was Zephyrs, there were Packards, there were all kinds of versions. But it wasn't until the George Barris version that this kind of car existed. So they originally started off with Dean Jeffries, the guy that built the Monkey Mobile and the Black Beauty,
Yeah,
and he was originally contracted. But when ABC decided their ratings were tanking and they needed Batman as a mid-season replacement coming out in January instead of in September, Dean Jeffries could no longer meet the commitment to be able to complete the car. That's when they went to George Barris, who happened to have access to the 1955 Lincoln Futura concept car. And that's what really set things in motion. It had double bubble windshields, the giant fins, the chevrons on the trunk lid. And it's a good thing it had all of that because George Barris only had 5 weeks to find a car and convert it into the Batmobile.
and
And
it was
different interviews in different interviews, George would say that he had 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week, but with the contract said five, so that's what we're going to go with.
right.
And in that 5 weeks, it was not just to have the vision, but to be able to execute that
Right.
vision is amazing. And all of that work was done in metal to be able to extend the fins onto the doors, to open up the wheel wells, to extend the hood scoop onto the nose, scallop the fins. Now, in addition to George Barris, there was Bill Cushenberry, who did most of the metal work. There was Bob Metz, who did the scallop work. And then Eddie Graves from 20th Century Fox Design was involved also with some of those modification ideas. So it was really a combination of several elements. There was a team of about 10 people that worked on it 24 hours a day to be able to get the job done in time. They delivered it in black primer, so some of those most famous pictures that you see of the Batmobile, it has white airbrushed outlines instead of being the neon red orange that it really had later. Yeah,
Really?
so if you see those pictures of Adam and Bert standing inside of the car, or you see them coming around the nose of the car and you see the blade sticking out, those are from those pre-publicity shots when it was in black primer and they were trying to decide where the stripe should go. So
Oh,
that right, and then the car was painted gloss black, of course, for the show, and then it was in November of 1966 when Barris popped molds. He got permission from DC Comics at the time; it was National Periodicals, and he made 3 fiberglass copies, and those are the ones that most people saw probably in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
right. Wow. Good Lord. But now you are making these. And not only are you making them, but you're actually licensed by DC Comics,
Right.
uh, which you said happened in 2015?
2010, actually.
Oh, so-
They sent a spy to my shop pretending to be a customer, and he reported back, and I had no idea who was a
oh
spy at
my
the time.
gosh.
He reported back that they liked the quality level, he liked the accuracy level, and he thought that I would be a good ambassador for Batman and for the Batmobile. So
Duh.
that's why they chose me. Well, thank you. They chose me, so I didn't have to go chasing them. They came to me. It there were some negotiations and things that went on and the like, of course, as in with any business transaction like that. And we became licensed. Was I think September 23rd of 2010. And who would have ever thought? Little O Mark and Little O Logansport and Little O Indiana would be the only licensed guy on the entire planet.
Hey,
There's a lot of pinching myself that goes on a daily basis to say I can't believe I get to do this. This is great.
but this just goes to prove if you put in the work, it's going to happen. And you've definitely
Sure.
been putting in the work. And I mean, God bless you. I mean, because I know there had to be some lean times, trying to do this. Now, how many of these have you sold?
Sold, I think, is 39. Completed is 31. So we're working on several right now.
You're on back order right now.
Right, we always are. There's no such thing as having cars on the lot ready to sell at this very moment. That was our vision. We never, ever, ever were
Never
able to achieve it. Right.
Okay. Now, are these all customers in the U.S. or are these customers? And I'm sorry, I don't have the chat up. I'm trying to look through here as we're going. And by the way, let's say to us, hello to Skynet World, Trip U-Halt. Where is he? System Paradox. Hello, Daniela Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. Who else is on here, you guys? Man, this is so great. And Skynet and Paradox and Trip, all followers of the show. I haven't seen System Paradox and Skynet for quite some time, but we were out of sorts. But anyway, they're all saying hello. Um,
Welcome back.
there we go. Here,
But
watch. There's System
we
Paradox right there. Nerd Man, thank you. Yes.
we
Uh,
have one car in England. We have one car in Italy. We have two in Australia, and we built our first right-hand drive car. Was the second one, so that was a challenge and a half
oh,
to make that a reality. And then the rest are here in the United States. We have three that are in Arizona and three in Massachusetts, and then the rest are scattered across the country.
um, now I you got to. I mean, are these just people that they're just that big of a fan, or they're like, I just got to have a Batmobile?
It's some of both. So some of them are huge fans of the TV show as well as the Batmobile. Others are just fans of the Batmobile and they really didn't like the show all that much. But most of them are fans of both. I know it's fascinating to me how you can be of one but not the other. But that's the reality of it. They most of these guys are self starters. They were rags to riches type stories, and they've worked hard for their families. They've given them everything, and they come up to their 50th birthday or their 60th birthday, and the wife says, "This is a special birthday. I want to get something that you've always wanted your entire life."
Right.
Name something, anything to give me some kind of a spark of an idea what to do for you. And then, no, 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 you're going to laugh. No, no, seriously, I won't laugh. I really want to know. And they said, well, I've wanted a Batmobile since I was a kid. And then they do laugh.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, sure. Let me just go downtown and get one for you real quick.
Right.
Oh
But then
well,
they Google,
actually,
they
if you're in
Google,
Indiana, you can.
right? They Google, they find us, they find the videos, they find all the YouTube videos like Holy Double Vision or the we have one of the videos that talks about the owner's manual of the car. It's
Oh
a
my.
video to show people how to walk through every single step of operating their Batmobile. And those are a lot of fun. And of course, they go to the website at fiberglassfreaks.com. Check us out there
Yep.
on Facebook. We're all over the place on Facebook with lots and lots of photos and videos there, and they find us, and usually it's about 3 years to cultivate a sale from the initial phone call through the actual pulling of the trigger to make the order happen.
Right.
And then they are indeed full scale cars. Yes, as Skynet was just asking. Full scale vehicles. They're 18 feet 10 inches long. They're 84 inches wide. They weigh about 4,700 pounds. Everything that you can imagine from watching the show. It's just like what episode one of season one is the mainly goal. And it's there's a roll top dashboard with five separate roll top sections.
Oh
Those
my.
conceal the controls. the red and white buttons that are on either side of the steering wheel up towards the dash top. Those operate different things in the car. You've got the knob that raises and lowers the bat beam antenna, which was capable of cutting through 18 inches of steel or 3 feet of concrete. The flamethrower does work out the back of the car with hidden switches.
Okay, that was I've been waiting to ask that.
But propane tank in the trunk and shoots out a flame about 1.5 feet, just like on the original car.
That
I've
is
had a few customers have wanted to put 30-foot flamethrowers on there. I said, you do that, but that's not us. We can't
yeah.
do that. We've
You
got
can
to
make
keep
your own modifications after you buy the car. We have a clean bill of sale.
right. The hood and the trunk open with electric actuators. So lots of gadgets, lots of switches and knobs and things for people to play with. And most everything on the car does actually have a function. The one item that doesn't, the bat turn lever that you remember hanging from the bottom of the arch, does not
Yes.
make the car turn 180 degrees. Outside of that, everything else is functional.
Your own modifications may vary, but
Right.
as far as the bill of sale, once it's sold, you can do what you want. Um,
And
wow.
even
Okay.
the bat even the bat phone works with the blinking beeping Bluetooth Batmobile bat phone.
Oh,
I know everything that was science fiction in
Andy, you need
1966.
to get
It's
a Batmobile.
reality. It's
Oh,
reality today. The
yeah.
technology has caught up to the imaginations of those writers and directors. We
Oh,
see it all the time from Star Trek and Batman and everything in Mission Impossible. Get smart. It's all real.
good Lord. Okay, so now you're building the Batmobiles, and you end up collecting all this amazing Bat nostalgia, Batman paraphernalia. You make the you pull the trigger. You're making the museum. You're in Logansport, Indiana, correct?
Logansport, Indiana, about 70 miles due north of Indianapolis.
Okay, I was gonna say it's just north of there, but 70 miles. Okay, so it's not just north, about an hour north. And okay, and but your museum is huge too, correct? I mean, this is a pretty spacious area, and you filled it.
Over 7,000 square feet. And yes, it's a lot of fun to go through. You start off in the Wayne Manor study with the sliding
Oh
bookcase,
my gosh.
with the Shakespeare bust, with the switch in it, to the bat phone next to it. And it's a replica, just like pretty much about the size of the third season version of the Wayne Manor study. The fabric wallpaper all the way around, the wall sconces, and the model of the ship, and some of the other details like that. So you step inside, and it's like you just left the real world. You're on the set
Yeah.
of Batman. And you flip the switch, the bookcase slides aside. You see the bat poles labeled Bruce and Dick, and you're able to stand next to those for photo ops. Look down the bat pole shaft, see the bat cave down below, and yes, there is a bat cave down below.
Okay. All right. I gotta ask this: does the floor move away from the bat pole? So, like, if you want to, you can slide down the bat pole and go into the bat cave.
My lawyer and my insurance agent say no.
Well, hey, you had to you gotta go for it. And so but between me and you, it happens.
We may see what we can do. Yeah.
Maybe it's like, a guy that has a small podcast that's, kind of fun, and happens to be in Logansport, Indiana, say after hours, and there might be a floor that disappears while you're sliding down the bat pole, and.
We'll have to see.
Oh my
But yeah,
God. I'm only
but
in Kansas City. I'm not that far away.
but
Um,
it is going to be an absolute blast. We open on October 31st, Halloween at 1 p.m. They're at 525 East Market Street in Logansport, Indiana. And we have a lot of things in store for people. When they come in, they're going to be blown away as they see all of the memorabilia we have on display, and then they see the replicas of the sets.
You are going to have a nerd fest going on. I can tell you this much right now. It's again for all listening at home on the audio version. Mark Racop, he is the Bat-urator of the uh, Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum, Logansport, Indiana, opening up October 31st at 1 p.m. Correct? Okay,
Yep,
and
1 p.m.
but you can go to fiberglassfreaksmuseum.com and look it up and find out all the information. Or if you're in the market, I'm just going to throw this out here, go to fiberglassfreaks.com, buy yourself a Batmobile, and have your own fun. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit on back order, but you'll get one. Just give it time. I mean, nothing comes with, there's no such thing as something that cool being instant gratification. You have to wait. You have to let it flow into you. Oh my gosh, Mark, this is just the coolest. And you were a suggestion from one of our listeners. I made a show meme using Batman and Robin, the old Batman and Robin with the Batman and Robin theme, and they were like, "So does this mean Mark Racop's going to be on?" I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" And she said, "Oh, you, oh," and she sends me a link, and I look up all this information. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" And then, like, I'm just freaking out about the museum. Then I find out you make Batmobiles, and I just totally lose it. I'm like, oh, good Lord, here we go. This is, and I said nothing about that till today because I wanted that to kind of be a surprise for Andy. But unfortunately, Andy, I'm sorry you're not here, and I'm sorry you're stuck in meetings, and I hope you get to punch your boss in the face. Um, Hard, not softly, hard, because you missed this, and I feel so bad because Andy would just we wouldn't have enough time, which we're about to run out, and I'm sorry. I would love to maybe at one point have you back on the show after you've opened
Sure.
the museum, and maybe you can give us a little quick tour of some stuff or whatever.
I
I
would
do.
love to.
Oh my gosh, Mark, that would just be so amazing. This is just huge. I can't believe it. I'm like totally nerding out. I'm not even there yet, and I'm going to talk my wife into taking a trip to Logansport, Indiana, just to come out there.
Please
Um,
do.
but yes, okay. So, and now, are you going to be open? What, 5 days a week, 7 days a week? How are you planning on running this?
5 days, Tuesday through Thursday is 1 to 7, and then Friday and Saturday is 1 to 8.
Okay.
Sunday and Mondays we're closed, but by appointment we can make other arrangements as might be needed from time to time. As people are traveling in from great distances, we want to be able to accommodate as many as we can, of course. But man, is it going to be a blast when people go downstairs and they turn around from the stairway and they see the Bat Cave and they see the Batmobile, the atomic pile in the background,
Oh
the
my gosh, you have the
the
atomic.
Bat pearls. To see the Bat computer with the blinking lights, the Burroughs 205 unit in the background, statues of Batman and Robin to go with the statues of the villains that were in the upper floor, and then you
You
move
have the
into
clear map too.
then you get to the final room, and there you're going to see the world's first replica of the 1966 Batgirl bat cycle, and a statue of Batgirl next to it, and then a replica sculpture that Marty Martino did, a famous concept car replica builder. He made a replica of the 1955 Lincoln Futura, so you get to see what it was like before it became the Batmobile. It's a replica, but it looks just like what the Futura looked like.
Oh, this is so cool. Oh man, I'm putting the nerds thing back up again because yeah, I am just a nerd, and I'm nerding out so hard on you, Mark. Mark Racop. Okay, go to fiberglassfreaksmuseum.com. Find out all the information on the Batman Museum, Logansport, Indiana, opening up October 31st, 1 p.m., not 1 a.m., 1 p.m. And then, yes, we're, I know, we're getting there. Don't worry. That's the weird guy that lives in the rafters, and he loves the end of the show game called Random Questions of Insanity. Now, if again, just saying, you got that 401k just sitting there doing nothing, invest in a Batmobile. Go to fiberglassfreaks.com, get yourself a damn Batmobile. I mean, fully authentic, working, except for the 180 arm and the you know, making the flame shoot 30 feet out the back. But everything else, working, happening, lights, dooby 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 doo. Does it have a parachute?
Yes, they're non-functional. Non-functional, but the parachute packs are on either side of the rocket exhaust tube. Uh,
Well,
a few of our customers have purchased the actual parachutes to be able to have bragging rights and put them inside. But I know that we don't have much time left here, but I did have an interesting phone call from the owner of the number 4 Batmobile. He said that he would like for me to restore the car. Everything comes full circle, right? That was the car I saw in Chicago when I was 11 years old. That cemented the dream that I was going to build my very first car.
oh,
I ended up restoring it, and it had working parachutes on it because it was on drag strips all across the country.
oh wow. And the bonus of these cars, kids, by the way, you're not just putting some old engine in it, are you?
No, we're putting LS3 Corvette engines into it.
Yeah. That's
About
what I'm talking about. American power,
400,
baby. Boom.
about 430 horsepower is the standard engine. Our our craziest one was a Ford 460 bored out to a 514 stroker, had 702 horsepower. So Adam West was looking at that particular engine. He said, "How many horsepower was that again?" Said 702, Adam. He said, "That's great. The car that I had was a piece of junk."
Oh my.
It's
So
never ending. It's never ending, Christian. We've got story after story after story. So
oh my gosh. Oh, Mark. Oh man. Yeah, we got to have you back on. And I mean, oh my gosh. Seriously, this is just absolutely amazing. I've got so much more that we can talk about. And yeah. So anyway, I know yes, I know it's the end of the show, and we've gone a little long, but that's fine. All right, so Mark, thank you so much for being here, and we will do another show if you'll permit us with you.
absolutely.
But we're going to go and move into what we like to call random questions of insanity. We're okay. Just making sure he was getting a little antsy. Random questions of insanity. They're just random questions. There's no right or wrong answers, but they do give us a good psychological evaluation of you, and you may end up in a jacket afterwards. But don't be afraid. You ready to play?
Yes.
All right. We have 2 base questions, and I believe both of these are going to work well for you. So we start off with the first one. What is the best James Bond film?
Oh, The Spy Who Loved Me, I think, was one of the best.
Ooh, very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Uh,
Goldfinger, Spy Who Loved Me, and then Goldeneye are my 3 favorites out
oh,
of the
really?
whole series.
Wow. So you kind of cover almost the whole genre. So you don't like the Daniel Craig films?
They're okay. It's Jason Bourne in a James Bond movie, but it's all right.
Now, just and I know we've said this 100 times before, but we found out we had an actual guy who was a James Bond historian. The Daniel Craig character is the closest to the actual original version uh, that Ian wrote
Ian
about.
Fleming.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
he's
his. That was
closest, but he based it on David Niven.
he was supposed to be a very he wanted it to be a very dark character,
Well, sure.
but they the Casino Royale became far more a little more, like you said, like David Niven and what
Jason
Sean
Bourne.
Sean Connery. Uh,
Each actor has brought something new to the role, which has been
Absolutely.
fantastic. You've got the charisma of Sean Connery. You had the humor of Roger Moore. You had the good looks of George Lazenby, and
Right.
my gosh, Pierce Brosnan looked like he walked right off of the comic book page or off of the covers of those Ian Fleming
Yeah.
novels. And Daniel Craig brought the animal side, the
Yeah.
ferocity to the role. So each one has done a tremendous job of making it their own and their own universe and the like. So it's
Nope.
good.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. So yeah. So just curious, who was your favorite?
So Spy Who Loved Me was my favorite of the Bond films.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry. Sub question to this is
yeah.
who's your favorite Bond?
Oh golly, that's much tougher than the favorite movie. Uh,
Because again, they
I
all pick their own.
Right. Oh, I forgot to mention Timothy Dalton. Dalton, I
Yeah.
thought, was the closest to the Ian Fleming description.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
wish his movies
Great
were
job.
better written. I wish they were better written.
Yeah.
But I really liked Timothy Dalton's take on the role.
Yeah. No, I
So
think you did well.
so I guess I'll say Roger Moore, but and I'll probably get poo pooed on by a lot of people.
No, dude. I think Roger Moore did a great job. He had a lot of fun with it and still was very classy. And then, I mean, he fought, but he wasn't a brawler. I mean, Connery did more fighting than really Roger Moore did, but it is how they had it written at the time, So
Right.
I think they played the roles perfectly for what they were. All right, so here's our second question, which is
All right.
the definer here. What is your favorite sandwich and what all is on it?
Oh gosh, mushroom and Swiss burger.
Oh, and that is a sandwich, kids. Hamburgers are sandwiches. So that totally okay, mustard, mayonnaise,
Just mushroom, Swiss cheese burger. I'm good to go.
just no tomato, lettuce, no, just that's it.
That's it.
You're a good man. You know that. Yeah, all right. All right. All right. So now we have the series of the real random questions. And I think you'll actually do very well with this first one. Who wins in a fight, Kirk or Picard?
Oh golly, Kirk.
Yes! You're damn straight. Now, if they're playing checkers or chess, I'm picking Picard. But in a straight out the street ball, yeah, no, it's Kirk all the way. He beat up the lizard. I mean,
Right.
hello. All right. Let's see. What's another? Uh, what's the best way to travel?
Golly, Batmobile.
Oh, I was waiting for it. That's
I
why I started laughing when I read it. I'm like, it's gonna be the Batmobile.
Well, naturally, right. But I drove one of my Batmobiles from Logansport, Indiana to Metropolis, Illinois, a 9 hour one way trip. On the interstate, it's such a blast. You've got people that are taking pictures, honking, waving. You're changing somebody's life just by driving a car
Everybody
in
passing by him.
such a positive way. And this world needs some brightness, that needs some joy, and what better way to do that than with a crazy car like this that transcends race, gender, it transcends age. Even people that have never seen the Batman TV show get the car because it's so radically different. I
Yeah,
talked with Adam about that too, and I said, "What? Why do you think we're still talking about the car 50 years later?" And he said it was iconic in 55 as a Lincoln Futura. It was iconic in 65 when George converted it into the Batmobile, and it still looks like it's something could happen in the future. Oh, that's brilliant.
yeah.
That's why we still gravitate towards the Batmobile.
And that's what made Adam West so cool, dude, because he fully grasped not only the role that he was playing, but everything that was about it. The
Right.
car, the set. I mean, and he loved it. He knew this was really kind of a one-shot thing for him. This once he got typecasted,
Right.
and
Right.
so he put everything he had into it. and he did it so well. And I mean, as a kid, I was, oh, okay. But then as an older person, I go back and I look at it, and you're just like, this dude was just into this. I mean, you just see, and he talks about it in some interviews and stuff, but you really see it when you see him doing all this stuff, and then you see pictures of him backstage having fun and doing things. It's like this dude lived the best life, dude. It was just, yeah. See, we don't have enough time. We got to do this more. All right,
Right.
just come back next week. It's my birthday week, but we'll just do it anyway. All right. Since Andy's not here, I'm gonna ask one of his favorite questions. It's your night to order pizza. What do you get?
Mushroom and sausage.
So yes, kind of like the sandwich. Quality or quantity?
Quality.
I was gonna say I know the answer to this one. Well, you build those cars. And now I have to ask this, even though it's gonna be redundant, and I already know the answer. You have a choice to save the world. Who do you choose? Iron Man or
Batman.
Nah.
Batman. Well, I didn't like it in Justice League when the Flash asked Batman, says, "What is your superpower again?" And he said, "I'm rich." That's not Batman's superpower. His superpower is his ability to not give up. His tenacity is his superpower.
I was going to say tenacity and the fact that he's freaking brilliant. I mean,
right, exactly. You put the two together. He trained his mind. He trained his body to be absolute perfection, to the best that he possibly could be. And that is what makes Batman Batman, that he's a survivor, that nothing is going to stop him from the task.
Yep.
And
just like Captain America, didn't give up, did not stop.
Right.
And of course, he didn't have super serum, but whatever. It's the same mindset that works.
And as far as strategy goes, who do you want? Do you want Batman or do you want Iron Man? Iron Man paused and he said, "Captain America, you take over the strategy to tell us what to do." And I thought that was really a great move on the part of the director to go ahead and give Cap his moment then as a strategist, because he certainly was. So it was terrific. And Batman, of course, is considered the world's greatest detective and all of that. So it made perfect sense to me to choose Batman.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's do one more here. Well,
okay.
I know the answer to this, but where's your happy place?
My happy place is sitting in a Batmobile and with my lovely wife. In fact, we became boyfriend and girlfriend while sitting in the unfinished Batmobile. We were at the root beer stand, and I said, "Jill, I think I'm falling in like with you." Broke the ice. We became boyfriend and girlfriend. We've been married. We got married in 1987, so I think that's 34 years ago. So still going strong, and it's been amazing.
Your Batgirl, you're her Batman.
You bet.
Dude, Mark, dude, you are the bestest, bro. This is awesome. I am just so glad you were able to take time. I know every time you responded on emails, you're like, "Oh, I'm doing like 9 different meetings and da, 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 da. I'll get to you when I can." But I cannot thank you enough for taking time out to be with us and spending time with us. Again, Mark Racop, sorry, curator of the Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum, Logansport, Indiana, opens up 1 p.m. October 31st, and then it'll be open 5 days a week after that. Get out there, check it out, and again, you want to take a little time, get yourself a ride, then go hit up fiberglassfreaks.com and get yourself a Batmobile. Is what I'm saying. All right, Mark, you are awesome. I cannot thank you enough for being here and taking time. You're the man. please, please, please come back and show us some more, and we'll talk some more about Batman.
Thanks so much for having me, Kristian. To the Batmobile. Let's go.
To the Batmobile. Thank you, Mark. Oh, and every one of his emails, instead of thanks, it says to the Batmobile. So this guy lives this dream amazingly. All right, guys, that's all we got. Next week, like I said, we're going to be off. We're going to be, I'm going to be off celebrating my birthday. So, yep, 1 year closer to death. That's me. And Andy should be back with us after that. We've got, we've got, there's our ending music. Who do we got on the show after that? I'm going to tell you because I thought I had it pulled up. And I didn't. So, that's how it goes sometimes. Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. We've got comedian Leon Purley. This guy is hilarious, kids. You got to make sure you tune in for him. Leon Purley, also known as Leon the Jokester, is what he goes by. So Google him, check him out. He's doing small tours right now. You guys, great guy. Clean comedy, which, as we all know, is the hardest version of comedy. So make sure to be here in 2 weeks with Leon the Jokester. Me and Andy will be here. We'll have some more Random 9. We'll have a lot of fun going on. In the meantime, kids, be good to each other. Take care of each other. We're all we got out there. Everybody who tuned in, I can't thank you enough for stopping by and following back up. System Paradox, Trip, Daniela, y'all are the best. Thank you so much for being a part of this. You guys are well welcome. And Trip, of course, always love you, brother. All right, in the meantime, we're going to take off. We're going to be out of here. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Be good to each other. God bless you. Love you. See ya. Maybe, if I find the credits. Peace! Oh, video clip playback failed. Please try again or contact support. So, we're just going to say goodbye.